when I had my meltdown before I went into rehab. You've been wonderful to me, Mariam, and I wouldn't do anything to jeopardize either your happiness or our future relationship. Promise. Well, that is very kind of you to say, but I am a professional and you don't need to take my feelings into account. Now, shall we talk about your design project? She said, putting on her brightest smile. Shaken by my experience in the park yesterday, I decided to go to the gym to work out. As I pounded the treadmill, I thought about how my life had changed in the past few weeks. Before, all I'd done was travel from one shoot to the next. Now it was one shoot every 10 days or so. Yet, in between, my life seemed to be overflowing with personal stuff. And however tough some of that might be, I knew I could cope because I had managed to gather a group of great people around me. One of them was my actual blood, and the others seemed to really care about me, which immediately brought me on to Miles. I missed him, not in a I haven't seen you in a while kind of missing, but in a permanent dragging at my heart. It was a feeling I couldn't quite describe. It was as if I wasn't whole if he wasn't around, which sounded kind of weird and serious. Maybe Lizzie was right, and he was too intimidated by me to say anything. Or maybe I just hadn't shown him how I felt about him. But I was scared too, because I had shown Mitch how I felt. In fact, I'd been so needy, I wanted to vomit when I thought about the person I'd been with him. I just couldn't let myself go there again. Later, in the car on the way to my AA meeting, on a whim, I redirected the driver to take me by the Flatiron building to the meeting nearby. If Tommy was in trouble, which I guessed he was, I had a feeling that's where I'd find him. Sure enough, there he was, sitting a few rows in front of me, his red baseball cap marking him out. He didn't speak this time, and neither did I. After yesterday, if I started, I'd never stop, and I just needed time to process all I'd learned slowly and in my own time. When the meeting was over, I decided to lurk at the back of the room and wait for him to pass by me. Hey, Tommy, I called to him. Fancy meeting you here. Oh, hi, Electra, how are you? I saw his face was pale, and his eyes were red as though he hadn't slept for days. The good news was that I didn't catch any scent of alcohol on his breath as he spoke to me. I've missed your presence outside my building, I said cheerily. Where have you been? Oh, places, he shrugged. Want to grab a coffee? I asked him. I mean, not that coffee, I said, indicating the urn. Really? He looked at me in surprise. Yeah, why not? I. Okay then. We found a place just around the corner and sat down. Are you okay, Tommy? I asked him. To be honest, he said as he blew on his espresso, life ain't so great at the moment. I decided this wasn't the moment to pussyfoot around. Look, I know what's happened. With Mariam. Seriously? He looked shocked. How? Long story short, I got mugged in the park yesterday, and everyone is telling me I need a bodyguard. So I immediately thought of you and told Mariam, who started crying and went and locked herself in my guest bathroom. Then the whole tale came out. Oh, gee, Electra, I'm sorry to put you to any trouble. Then he looked up at me, and I could see the tiniest glint of hope in his eyes.